Well, some people call it trend setting, others a fad, and a few even call it odd. Well, it is being referred to as indoor grass. That's right, containers of grass and grain that are used as an indoor decoration. Well, as you would expect, this trend started in the Northeast and it's now moving its way across the United States. And these are actually kits that you can purchase at some florists, and then there are mail order companies that are selling them as well. The ones we're using are wheat grain and also annual ryegrass, and we'll demonstrate how to make these. But you might find it interesting, how in the world would someone use indoor grass? Well, you can use it as a display for a dinner party. Some people are using it as an accent for a bonsai type effect, and others are using it in careful displays with antique objects or photographs, or maybe even as a dish garden for the kids with their favorite trinket. Well, however you display it, there's a few guidelines that you need to follow. It's best to use 2 or 3 different types of containers so you can rotate these out indoors, because as you know, an indoor condition is really not the proper environment for these types of grasses and grains. We don't get enough sunlight, the humidity is a little bit too hot and dry for the winter time. So again, you interchange them. You put one in, as it starts to decline, you bring the other one from outside and you just rotate them out. Now let's show you a little bit on how to design one of these. Usually you get a smaller tray, and these are just the trays to catch water on some of our pots. This particular one is plastic, and this is our clay one. You can find some of these with holes in them, and really that would be the best thing to do, because you could place the one with holes after you planted it inside another one to catch the excess water when you're keeping it indoors. But if you don't have holes in them, or you get water drainage, either way, you need to make sure that you drain that excess water out, because it dries out quickly, but the water will also stand in the bottom as well. Now, to make one of these, it's very similar to a dish garden or a terrarium type project. If you don't have holes in the container like we have here, just make sure you put in a layer of like pea gravel or sand, something that you can actually let a little bit of that water drain from the base, and you just enough to cover the bottom, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch, depending on the size of the container. Then you want to fill it with the good potting soil that drains well again. We've got some perlite and vermiculite, and you don't want to fill it to the top because you need a little bit of space for the water to stand and saturate. Choose your particular crop, whether it's grain or ryegrass, and we're going to use wheat. And as you sprinkle that in, you would push it down a little bit, and then it's great to come in with like vermiculite to cover that so it will germinate easier. Put it outside, keep it watered. Full sun is the proper location. And then after you get it going, be sure to give it a little bit of a haircut if it gets too tall. Well, if you should try this project, be sure and let us know. We're interested in how it works for you. And that's all the time we've got today on Oklahoma Gardening, and we hope you'll join us again next week here for another version of Oklahoma Gardening.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.